Welcome back to the second half of my video titled Seeing Angel Numbers, What It Really Means. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, please go back and refer to that first video, as the second part is building upon part 1 and you don't want to miss it. So to continue where I left off, the next stage of your development can be broken down into 4 phases: priming, acknowledging, implementing, and reevaluating. Each of these phases could rightfully become an individual in-depth video of their own, but for the sake of being concise and to the point, I will only briefly touch upon each phase, giving you a crash course or the main takeaways regarding each one. So immediately after the numbers catch your attention, you enter into the first phase, which is the priming phase. The chances are, the very first time you saw the recurring numbers, you paid very little attention to it. But as it became more and more frequent and more far-fetched as far as the mathematical probability of seeing those numbers, that's when you likely started to scratch your head and wonder what the heck is going on. The priming phase is doing just that, priming you, making you, your mind, more malleable, stretching your boundaries as far as what you thought was possible in your reality that previously you were not open to, because societal conditioning told you to view your world through a particular lens, a lens that only allowed certain limited and biased sciences to be acknowledged and encouraged, all other sciences to be silenced, discredited, and disregarded as woo-woo. The rest was held off limits to you, and to ensure you stayed away from it, we were all trained to self-police each other by laughing, being skeptical, dismissing anything that didn't fall in line with the chosen sciences to be considered infallible and therefore held in the highest regard. But the benevolent universe is vast, like your consciousness, and it got tired of waiting for us to wake up by chance from this great deception and realize the tragedy of our infinite being staying asleep. So the initial priming stage goes like this. First, the numbers grab your attention. Then, once your attention has been grabbed, your curiosity spikes. Once your curiosity spikes, you begin to wonder. Wonder is a beautiful, magical tool of our consciousness. Wonder expands, it creates new possibilities and new dreams, new aspirations, new goals. Also, once you begin to wonder, you then go looking for answers. And once you go looking for answers, you find yourself on channels like this one that will lead you to more cookie crumbs, that lead you to new discoveries that expand your mind even further, that lead you more deeply into your journey of awakening and self-discovery, which is really just a journey of remembering or rediscovering who you really are, your own inherent divinity, and your highest purpose for incarnating on Earth presently. So now that you've been primed, your mind is expanding, you're discovering new things, and probably on a vibrational high. This is such a wonderful place to be, and the good news is you can keep this vibrational high. It doesn't ever need to end. There is always more and more available for you to learn and discover, and don't you worry. You will never run out of things that help you grow. You will never run out of room to expand. You will never know all there is to know, not while you're in human form. But you will have an amazing good time trying, as long as you stay open and humble and okay with not having all the answers, and perfectly okay with being wrong or mistaken. Because being okay with being wrong or mistaken leaves the doorway to higher knowledge open. Now remember the invitation? If this sounds like the party you've been waiting for all your life, then you're going to want to acknowledge and RSVP. Moving on to the acknowledgement phase. You entered this phase when you began to acknowledge that seeing the numbers was more than sheer chance or probability. You moved beyond believing it could be just coincidence and began wishing to connect with it more, understand it more. You had a deep feeling that these numbers and the synchronicities were being orchestrated behind the scenes from a higher place. Something beyond what the general public accepts as real or possible has been causing you to see the numbers, and that in turn gives you a sense of reverence and awe. It gives you a sense of feeling seen. You feel acknowledged. You feel loved. All of this happened on an unconscious level. It just naturally unfolded and flowed, right? Well, now it's time to make it all conscious. The next step, should you want to continue down this path, is taking it out of the realm of it happening to you and stepping into the realm of it happening with you. You do this by giving your conscious acknowledgement and feelings of gratitude. Some of you may have already been doing this instinctively by saying thank you whenever you saw the numbers, by saying, I see you, I acknowledge you. Thank you for acknowledging me. I believe in you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for revealing our divine partnership. And this last sentiment is you handing the universe your RSVP. With gratitude, I wholly accept and honor our partnership. This brings us to the third phase, which is the implemental phase. This is when you are being called to act on what you receive, taking conscious action. By first acknowledging and then taking conscious action, you are following through and strengthening the bond, and very importantly, showing your commitment to your path of awakening. The reevaluating phase. Repeatedly seeing the angel numbers can be a catalyst that naturally causes you to question and reevaluate what you believed was possible. This often leads to a chain reaction that can cause even further growth. Questioning, pondering, reflecting all have a way of causing your awareness to grow. Growth equals change. As your awareness grows, you naturally go through changes. This is because changes within your unconscious mind lead to changes within your conscious mind. This newfound awareness of yourself and the world around you often causes you to reflect and reevaluate your life and the way things are going. Whether it's a thought, an emotion, or even the realization that something within you feels unsettled and requires your attention. The reevaluating phase is likely to be the most challenging of the 4 phases because as you reevaluate, you rediscover who you really are underneath layers of misconceptions, outdated beliefs, opinions, and attitudes that really haven't been serving your highest potential. This will cause a cascade of mixed emotions and a chain reaction of changes in your life. You may find yourself letting go of certain habits, hobbies, and friendships, and forming new ones that cause a deeper sense of peace and harmony within you. Initially, this could be very challenging for you or others in your life who might not welcome the new changes in you. This re-evaluation phase has another purpose. It is a process you will want to periodically utilize as you walk your new path to ensure you are staying in alignment with your truest nature and your highest purpose, letting go of anything that isn't serving that goal. Now, as you walk this path, new phases will come on the scene and even tests. I will do a video on that in the future to give you a very important heads up as to new requirements of you as you continue down this path, and at times even the repercussions that you may face, because to whom much is given, much will be required. These words hold true when it comes to your psychic development. A quick note about these early phases. These phases aren't a one-time experience, nor are they meant to be. Throughout your life, you will continue to move fluidly throughout each phase because the path of awakening isn't a straight line. It moves more like a spiral, and no matter how advanced you perceive yourself to be, you will continue to revisit themes, only to learn a new aspect that you weren't quite ready for the first, second, third, or fourth time around. Finally, as promised, a technique for working with the angel numbers that you can start using right away. Now that I've explained that you can partner with the universe, let me explain one of the perks that becomes available to you. So instead of just looking up the angel number meanings when you see certain number sequences show up, why not create a personalized system just for you? I'll explain how, and if this resonates, then feel free to implement this technique. Be patient and results will begin to show. You are still in the early stages of building up your personal conscious connection. It can take some time and dedication, but you will get there. So first, in your heart and in your head, either internally or out loud, go ahead and express your gratitude for this newfound connection. Replay one of your favorite memories of seeing an angel number and create a strong mental image of that moment with the feelings of excitement and awe that it stirred within you. In this way, you are communicating with the multiverse through your mental images as well as your thoughts and your emotions and your intentions. And accept the agreement that from this day on, the universe is delivering you personal messages through the use of angel numbers. Indicate the exact source you choose to utilize when looking up the numbers. If you want to use a particular angel number book as your personal decoding system, or a website that lists specific meanings of the different number patterns, then consciously bring that to mind and make the agreement in your head and in your heart, internally or out loud, that that is the source that you'll be going to. This is a very easy and very valid way to use the numbers, especially for beginners. In the future, if interested in more advanced methods, you can move away from having to look up the numbers and just instead learn how to receive the messages straight into your awareness. As you continue to consciously acknowledge, communicate, and interact with the divine universe and strengthen your connection, the communication begins to include more than just angel number sightings. The entire world around you becomes your playground filled with rich communication. You can literally ask questions out loud or in your mind and receive accurate answers. The third video in this series will be discussing and guiding you through the magical experience of divine synchronicity and growing the scope of your communication with the extraordinary multiverse. I hope this information was helpful. If there's anything you'd like me to go into more detail on, just let me know. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.